welcome to the review with Heather's Passion Academy. And I am Heather of Heather's Passion Academy. And thank you for joining me today for today's review. And the review is for season 8, episode 8 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And this title of today's episode is Sunny's Destiny Has Arrived. And as y'all know, this season has been a dumpster fire and it's no different. So let's hop right into it because yeah, why tarry? So the episode opens up with um Mel and Marceau still going back and forth about the statement that he made regarding Martell's um, arrest. And she feels like because of the severity of the charge, he shouldn't have made a statement such as free Martell. And she said he could have reached out to ask if she and the kids were okay. And he lets her know that they are still rebuilding and, you know, he just doesn't feel comfortable with that. And she says, well, you could have had your wife to reach out. And so moving forward, they decided that the same courtesy that she gives, which is to not make any statements regarding their business, she wants them to keep her name and business out of their mouth. Now he says, well, her fans are deplorable and brainless. Now she's saying that, of course, she can't control these grown people just as much as you cannot control your mother-in-law. Now, let me tell y'all something about M- Marceau and Melody. Actually, I think they have a lot of chemistry. I might have said this in the last time that we did this review. They actually have more chemistry on camera, I think, than most of the rest of the cast, and their their back and forth banter is very interesting to me. And everybody says, well, I think he has a crush on her, but I think she also plays into it as well. And I'm not saying anything funny is going on, but people know when somebody got a crush on them. And sometimes you do play into it or whatever. Cause I think if she was really done with him, she just really wouldn't have any type of conversation with him. But anyway, uh, they do a lot of back and forth. And I don't really want to talk about it no more when it comes to them. To be honest. Now, Stormy and Destiny have gotten together to catch up over the last time they saw each other. Now, the last time I saw them, they were going back and forth about a Gucci bag. I wonder, did she ever like keep the bag that Stormy gave her? But I don't know. Anyway, they were talking about how they used to not get along and how they do get along and how now Stormy's mom likes Destiny Child. I wouldn't be worried about whether or not Stormy mama like you or not. Anyway, that's another story. Anyway, she talks a little bit about moving her warehouse because a blogger came to the business. And what she's saying is every time they go somewhere, every time they move, this blogger finds them and pops up at her business. Anyway, that's a lot. And then they talk about the podcast. Well, seeing Mel at the podcast, and I think things are getting back on track with her. Destiny wanted to know how real the interaction was between her and Melody because she feels like Melody operates in a lot of gray areas. And she's really not wrong because I see that Melody holds everyone else to a different standard from what she does. I don't know. Maybe it's just time to shut this thing down. That's what I think. Stormy shares that she's having a gala and wanted to know where everyone's head is at because she wants to have a problem-free event. So she's going to give everybody the heads up about attending. So she starts with the situation between Mel and Martell. Destiny was like, "Why would you invite them in the first place?" And she was like, "Well, because I just want to invite everybody." And I'm like, "Stormy, you've been around them long enough to know that you just can't invite everybody because everybody ain't gonna act right." And then Stormy has to figure out, you just can't send invites out. Sometimes you're gonna have to pick and choose when it comes to this group. Now, we all know that production is more of the problem as to why everybody gets an invite, but I still would be like, no, how about no? She lets Destiny know also that she has invited Moses and Sunny, and Destiny was like, Okay, so I don't really feel any kind of way about that, but whatever. She talks about the meeting that she and Moses had and the fact that he pops up like, "Hey, we need to meet," and he conveniently had no ring on when he met. Because I feel like that was convenient. Anyway, Stormy asked her, "Has she seen Sunny?" And she was like, "Well, I need to see her for." I'd be the same way, to be honest. You don't need to see everybody. Everybody don't need to see everybody. So over at Scout, we meet MJ, who is the chief of staff for Marceau and Tisha. I don't know what that means, what chief of staff means really in this sense. They be just giving titles. But all I know is they're proud of her and she's got a 1 year anniversary coming up and she's gonna be a property manager for one of the properties. And so as they're talking to her and getting their kiki on and hey, how you doing? Yes, da, 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 da. And so they just saying she's so nervous that she's got to go and become a property manager. So she once they finish having their little kiki with her, she skedaddles on up out of there. And Tisha and Marcel talk about his meeting with Mel. So they talk about the fact that someone reached out to him regarding the situation. Mel doesn't feel like, you know, people stick up for her. And they said she doesn't normally answer texts and calls. So that's why a lot of them haven't reached out to her because, she doesn't normally answer their calls and they are not going to be DMing her. And I will say this. Mel changed her phone number a couple of years ago, and then she stated years ago that people were her coworkers. And so, which one is it? Do you want friends or do you want coworkers? Because I think now that people are treating her accordingly with that, then she's like, "We on the men, we should rebuild these relationships." Y- Y'all just y'all are coworkers. That's what it boils down to. That's the reason why nobody's really reaching out because y'all don't really have a friendship outside of this show, and it's really starting to tell. Anyway, Marcel also brings up that Mel mentioned Wanda, which is Tisha's mom, and she's back out there, in the world talking about Mel on social media. And Tisha's like, "Well, I asked her not to say anything. We already know what that means. She really did because she, for some reason, can't say to her mama what she says to everybody else. She can't find them words for her mama, nor can she find them for Marcel." And Marcel was like, "Well, Melody does have a point. We can't ask her to call her fans off when we can't even get a hold of Wanda." And Tisha was like, "Should we tell my mama to activate Tisha? Your mama is getting ready to be sued for real in real time. Just don't say nothing. Tell her to keep her mouth shut and stay away. How about that?" Anyway, so the rest of the episode is about the Lovers and Friends Gala. Trisha and Ken show up early, child. They the only ones that ever show. It seemed like everybody be late to everything. But they actually showed up before the thing started so they can actually get instruction as to what they need to do. And Stormy gives them directions, how to display the products, where they're supposed to model, how they're supposed to stand, all that kind of stuff. And Trisha, of course, is nervous. And I want Trisha to open her mouth when she speaks. I just need her to work on that just for me. Just work on it. Anyway, the gala begins and we see that, we got all of the goings on going on. We have all the balloons and the tables and stuff. Yeah, I took these screenshots. They ain't the best today. I'm gonna be okay. Um, as you see, there Nell and Chris are in attendance. And then we see that Moses and Sunny are in attendance. And if you go right here, look right up in this area. Let me see if I can get my pointer right here. That is what's his face from Bell Collective, which means the wife is right there. I can't remember her name right now because we ain't even talking about Bell Collective. Anyway, so Sunny's holding her breath and hoping nothing goes wrong at this event, but she kind of couldn't didn't have to come. But anyway. So this is the event, kind of looks like a barn or something. I don't know. They have nice little it's decorated nicely. I will say that it's very nicely decorated. As you can tell, people are showing up and most people are dressing accordingly. There's actually a dress code. And so very interested in I of like, oh, okay, people knew what to wear because child, that birthday party, they did not. Absolutely did not. Anyway, there's Sunny and Moses sitting over there, and they go and speak to the Fletchers and everything, and you know, Chris doing what he do, talking all the stuff, real estate. And so Nell says she just want to see what's up with Sunny. So she kind of grabs her so they can go and beat this dead horse real quick. So Nell wants to know, how did this whole situation come about, being that Destiny and Moses were a thing, and she was the producer. And she was like, well, it was a year after I left the show and I ran into him, and at first I had turned him down. And then, and I'm like, girl, the more you talk, the more I realize, well, I didn't realize, the more you talk, the more you criminalize your actions, because you will incriminate yourself, because you're saying that he came to you and then you turned it down out of respect to Destiny. But that sounds to me like you knew that he and Destiny were still having dealings. But anyway, she said that he was dating other people and all this stuff, and he wasn't exclusive to Destiny. And I'm just like, but people say what they need to say to get you to do what they want you to do. It's really that simple, and it makes you look bad. It doesn't even make Destiny look bad. I mean, Moses already looked bad because he's dealing with, yeah, anyway, but it makes you look bad. And so she was like, "So y'all family knew each other and y'all didn't cross the line?" And here's Sonny now, because when I'm in producer mode, I wear sweats and a cap and my head is down. And I'm like, child, Todd was a producer when he and Candy got together. I'm right. I don't really watch that one, but I think that he was a producer when they met, right? Okay. Anyway, and so she was like, "Yeah, we was all at her birthday gathering, and you know, uh, I just don't move that way. I don't move that way." And she said she reached out right before, like 2 days before they posted that they were getting married. That was her heads up, and they only dated 90 days. So I'm trying to figure out what the rush is. Like, did y'all think that it was something going on? Was there a pregnancy scare? Or y'all been unofficially official for a long time? Or why get married in 90 days? Like, some don't gel right with me, but I'll tell you something. Neil said, I ain't gonna say it's right or wrong, but I'm like, yeah, baby, it's wrong. Because if you still value, even if she's not your friend, it just doesn't look right. You could have given her a heads up. I don't know why we have to keep talking about this. She keeps talking about, um, well, now we married, all this kind of stuff. It's just whatever. Y'all should just be quiet. So Nell says to Stormy that she thinks the whole situation is messy, and Sunny tries to say that that the problem is that she reached out and went to the podcast for revenge. Now, as they're talking about this, they are both like, this is not the type of energy that I'm feeling, that she's doing anything for revenge. But they just kind of decide they're going to stay out of it at this point. Destiny walks in and greets everybody. And, she's like, hey, y'all. Hey, how you doing? And, of course, Sunny and Moses are laser focused on her. Now, if y'all hear any baby in the background, I have a 2-year-old that will not leave me alone. She thinks that she is part of the review. So if you hear a 2-year-old or you hear a baby in the background, it's my baby. She won't act right. She won't act right today. Anyway, so Destiny walks in. She's greeting everyone, and Stormy decides that, well, Sunny decides that she needs to have a conversation with Destiny. So she goes to Sunny to ask. She goes to Storm. Ooh, these names. Mm-mm. Stormy asks Sunny, which is funny. Stormy, and I ain't thought about that. Stormy asks, tells Sunny that she's gonna find him a room off to the side to talk, because, basically, we don't need y'all messing up my event. So It's very interesting because she runs up to Destiny and she's like, do you want to have a conversation? She's like, absolutely not. I don't want to, but here we go. So they're having a conversation and she's mad at Destiny because Destiny went on a podcast um to talk about her feelings, I guess, even though she reaches out to her 2 days before they get married. And I'm trying to figure out, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? If you feel like you didn't do anything wrong, then you shouldn't have this level of anger towards someone that said, I don't really want to fool with you because I already see what kind of person you are. But anyway. So they sit and talk, and of course, they're going back and forth about, when did y'all start talking? July, August. They've been rehearsing this for a while. You can tell they've been sitting down. Okay, we're gonna put these timelines down. Whenever somebody asks me, we're gonna say we got our phone numbers in July and August, but I was really kind of done with her, and then we officially started being official in August, and that's what we're gonna tell her about. Okay, but the problem with this is then she goes back and says, well, he had asked me for my phone number before then, and I had turned him down. I was good enough to turn him down the first few times. So, and this is why it's a problem, because it goes back and forth. I just think that she's fine with, you know, telling Destiny whatever, but she don't seem to understand that if you keep telling her that she wasn't number one and he had a myriad of women, doesn't that make you part of the women that he was seeing? I just don't understand that. Anyway, so they're going back and forth. That's Destiny's face. Probably would have been my face as well. And she was like, "So, how many other women was he talking to since you tend to notice since I didn't know these things?" Another thing is, if he was blindsiding her, why are you such a excited party to someone blindsiding something? Like, I don't get it. All of this is weird. Okay. And so she says, "Well, then, were you the sidekick?" And she was like, "Bitch, I ain't nobody's sidekick." And then that's when she was like, "Girl, I ain't none of your bitch." But anyway, because I'm like, okay, so what do you want to be called? The sneaky link, or what we gonna call each other? What's happening? Anyway, the this exchange is weird because she really is upset. I guess that she's not getting her blessing or whatever. And she, at that point, Destiny was like, all right, whatever, girl. The other thing is just Sunny just seems to be adamant that she knows more about the relationship between Destiny and Moses than Destiny and Moses. You was a sidekick, but you was a side chick, but I wasn't. And that's when she told her, listen, you play stupid games, you get dumb prizes. And then this fool in confessional goes, you dropped the ball, I picked it up and I scored. What the hell is that? Look, girl, you didn't win nothing. So now she all mad talking about, well, we can leave. These sandwiches are nasty. She sure was sitting down eating. So they just came in to try to disrupt some stuff. And so they gone with the win right there. See how fast they left like that. Anyway, Destiny like, I need a drink. Somebody help me with a drink. And yeah. Anyway, back in the gala, everything's going pretty good. Martell done showed up. He came in a full three-piece suit and a coat, so we knew that he wasn't going to participate. Stormy said she thought that he just had a little stage fright, and I say the reason why he did not disrobe is because Mel wasn't there. Let's just be clear about that. He still wants to have her in his sights, and so that's the problem. So the gym rats go and do their thing and be all sexy and rub body oils all over each other and everything. And Martell looking like, oh, that could have been me. I don't know. Anyway, Nell pulls Destiny to the side to talk to her again. They beating the other side of this deal. Like this horse just want to be put to rest. The horse wants to rest in peace, y'all. Y'all done beat him over and over again. He did. But here we go. So Nell pulls Destiny outside to talk to her about talking to Sunny. Um, and so she tells Destiny that Sunny, well, she said she knew dude from back home. It's been over a year. It was over a year ago, and she introduced. And Destiny's like, "Well, I introduced him at my birthday dinner." And Destiny said there was a total of 6 people in attendance, but that wasn't the picture that was painted from Sunny. And so, um, the timeline is a mess. Like I said, everything is a problem because there are so many different pictures that are being painted, and it's just absolutely wrong. So Destiny is like, it's not like she didn't know that we were a thing. Like I introduced them. Um, they sat next to each other, all these things. And then Nell is like, "Well, I should have talked to you first." Yeah, Nell, you should have got the whole story before you. In fact, if y'all wanted to get the whole story, why not try to have everybody sit down and talk? Well, one of the reasons because they don't want to be in the same room, but you definitely start with the person that you're closest to so you can get the understanding of their side of it. And then I don't know, but Carlos, get Moses and Sonny out of here. We tired of them. We don't want to talk about them no more. You know, and I'm not even a fan of Destiny. Like Destiny I can take her or leave her really at this point. But if this is all you have for her storyline, then we don't care. We're tired of them. They can keep each other. Cause whatever. Anyway, Destiny was like, she felt hurt because she has known this guy for 15 years. And she loved him. She just thought they were, better than that. She says she feels like, he could have picked any woman. He's a handsome guy. That's what she says. And she says that she feels like that he picked Sonny to hurt her. But I think that Sonny picked him because yeah, I really do feel like the situation is more so Sunny that well, that's what I'm saying. She seems to be more into it than him. Um, so yeah, that's where it is. That's where we at. So in the next scene, because y'all, we're not gonna tarry with this today. In the next scene, the gala was a success. And so Stormy is back at home with Courtney and the babysitter and they're just kind of sitting around talking. And Courtney comes in and tells her the police was at the warehouse um, looking for her. And she was like, "Oh, what you? I mean, it's not what." He was like, "Yeah, it was 2 police officers looking for you at the warehouse." And she was like, "You playing, right?" He was like, "Absolutely not." Um, And so he was just saying they were looking for her. They didn't tell her why they were looking for her, but they were looking for her. And so he was like, "You need to go and talk to your lawyer and see what's up with that." So she comes back and let them know that there are 2 warrants for her arrest for harassing communications and disorderly conduct. And she's saying it's coming from a blogger that has been coming to the warehouse to stalk her. So she's going to go ahead and turn herself in because, she can easily be picked up if not. And so this is where the episode ends. And we'll see what happens in the next episode as far as her turning herself in. But if you follow any of the blogs, you kind of know everything that's going on with this show. I'm gonna be honest. I said I was gonna do some additional um, videos to just kind of catch people up on what's happening behind the scenes with a lot of these shows. But it is exhausting to read and hear about all this stuff going on. These people like to just have a lot of mess going on. You got you got Martell been arrested and has been convicted. You have Destiny that has been got 2 mugshots out. Maurice had a DUI, and now we got Stormy with mugshot. What is going on, Carlos? Can you requirement to come on your show? Like, you know, everybody has to get a little mugshot. I don't know, but something's got to give with this show. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for tuning in to hearing me going and ranting about these people. please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And I would totally be honored if you would support my channel by liking and subscribing and sharing this review because it just means so much to me. I just thank you guys for watching again. I will see you all because this is awesome. Told y'all too. But thank you for watching. Yeah.